Welcome everybody to my channel. Today I've brought you a PowerPoint presentation about everything that is wrong with Mark Passio's teaching. So before I begin, let me clarify this one thing. This is not to target any Mark Passio or anything personally. This is everything that I'm doing on my channel. It is not to target anybody personally. This is to analyze and expose to the general public in the interest of public. I'm doing this is not any target or how Mark Passio twist my words, how he twist everything, how he present everything. So none of this is targeted or any personal attack on Mark Passio. What is the problem with the people why they think that this is personal attack or something? Because this is what narcissists actually do. They will attack you and everything else, and when you just expose that what is going on, they start to blame shift you. They start to make you the enemy. They start to make you present you, at least in the narrative, that something is very wrong with you. And why they do this? Because this is how these people operate. If you smear anybody who has evidence, why would he ever open his mouth? So I will get to every single thing aspect of all this thing. Let me explain the basic things first. So I will keep this video, Mark Passio Bring the Fire, episode 55, 2026, February 08. I think this is David Icke's son. I've never seen him before, seeing him first time. Mark Passio has a video with him. Okay, and we will keep this video as the basis of what we are doing today. And by the way, I created last video. Mark Passio watched that video and he decided to create this video. So even though I've said that I will not expose this person, there is a responsibility of Mark Passio as well to further this. The more he's going to disinform people about what I'm saying, the more he's going to use things that I've exposed him with, and he will twist those things to create a new narrative. The more I'm going to do this, not to any personal attack. Mark Passio is a public figure, and general people are allowed to criticize when they see what is going on with them. They're allowed to criticize these people. By the way, there are 41 likes and 1 dislike, and this 1 dislike come from me. So I'm that type of person. Okay, I don't take anything for face value. Oh shit, a lot of people do. I don't. So I see things for facts. I take things for facts, and this is what a lot of people who follow Mark they are lacking. I'm sorry. Who follow Mark Passio, they are lacking. This is what people who are seeking, who come across Mark Passio, but they lack this thing, and Mark Passio fill that gap with his false disinformation. So I'm trying to expose that thing. And why am I exposing this thing? 6 years ago, one of the member of Mark Passio's cult, he scammed me, and he started to create smear campaigns. So Mark Passio sided with that person. This is the basis of this thing. There's no other basis. For example, a lot of people, when ask Mark Passio about these things, when I'm exposing, so people ask him a lot of things. So Mark Passio tell those people something different, some different version, not the reality. So we will cover all this. We will cover this video. We will cover this 3-page, 4-page, 5-page presentation, and a few more things that I have not mentioned here. So let's begin from this video, and then we will come to this. Let's go.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Bring the Fire. Today I'm joined by Mark Passio. Mark is an independent researcher, lecturer, and speaker focusing on natural law, personal sovereignty, and exposing hidden social and political influences. He's known for his in depth presentations on the nature of control, the mechanisms used to manipulate human behavior.
So whatever he's saying, they be like, son, people usually fall for this. They don't see that what Mark Passio is preaching in front of camera, is he actually following it? Like, for example, he's talking about. I will do this. Just wait for a second.
And the importance of understanding ethics and responsibility. Mark combines historical knowledge, philosophy, and contemporary analysis to challenge mainstream narratives and encourage.
By the way, the things he has plagiarized from the mainstream, academia, other backgrounds, religions. What Mark Passio does is he claims to be a researcher. Researcher. That's his own claim. So can you research something that does not exist already? Can you? So what he does is he go to official sources, academia, psychology, religion, their literature, their scripture, and not all religions are same. Outside Mark Passio's deluded world, where people who follow Mark Passio's rhetoric or his Babel, religions do not fall in the same category. All the religions do not fall in the same category of Christianity. Okay, but I don't give a fuck what these conspiracy theorists they have been talking about. There are clear cut differences, and I will show you in a bit.
Encourage critical thinking. And my goodness me, we need that right now. Mark, great to speak to you, mate. Let's start at the beginning. What's your background and what led you to the work that you do now?
Gareth, thanks so much for having me on the show today. I appreciate it. Yes, my background is actually in occultism. And when a lot of people hear that, they tend to shy away because they don't really understand that all the word occult means is hidden.
What Mark Passio does not understand about occult is not hidden. It is never hidden. It is rejected. It is rejected. If you go to, okay, let me use a few examples to explain this. Let's pick the major body of occult that keep occult in the center. So occultism is like all sorts of secret societies. They follow occultism. Okay. Uh, Satanism is a major branch that uses occult as its center. Anarchists, they're known for using occult. Okay. So occult is not some hidden knowledge that you will gain and you will get in power, you will become a better person, this and that. No, this is the main issue. And you will not hear this thing anywhere else. Nobody else will explain you this thing like this. Everybody will spew the same thing that Mark Passio and other people like this they spew. It is hidden. How is it hidden when it's everywhere on the internet and everywhere? And it has always been everywhere. Like in the older times, if you even if you talk about things were more openly. I saw a video of Baal worship from 1933 that was recorded on camera. Maybe I can find it. This video.
A new day dawns, the 20th century, with hopes of freedom, happiness, and peace.
So what is hidden about this? Okay. July 3, 1933. Over 10,000 Jews gathered to celebrate 3,000 years of worshipping Moloch. This is Moloch worshipping actually. Baal. Yeah, this is that video, I think.
Among the Jewish Americans who spurred on, he perhaps gained confidence because he had produced a very successful Hanukkah pageant the year before, actually just maybe 5-6 months before.
Moloch Bal ceremony. This is a ceremony. This is being celebrated openly.
Um, and he felt that performance would.
Anyway, this is not the topic. I'm saying none of this was ever hidden. There were specific people who use these things openly. So whatever the hell these people they spew in the name of occult, they don't even understand what occult is. Okay, maybe I will try to explain this today.
And it is hidden knowledge about our world and ourselves. And I got involved in occultism because I recognized, I guess, at a somewhat early age, that religion was a control system basically designed to hold your consciousness in a very limited scope. And I basically had a lot of anger about that when I was younger because I did not have the framework to understand religion fully as a system of astrotheology and a system of mental control. So I sort of rebelled against family, teachers, clergy, people in family who had just accepted religious thought, particularly in.
So it's his personal beef against religion that he is still imposing this thing onto random people. He still thinks that people who come across him, they are his family or something that he can abuse and attack and rebel against. It's still in his mind.
My background, which was Roman Catholicism earlier in my life, um, who had just accepted it at face value and never really challenged it.
Okay, we will not play all this thing completely. We will specifically play this thing
As a system of control, and I went out and sought the exact opposite. I basically, my logic at that point earlier in my life worked like this. I know that system is a lie and a system of control, and so I'm just going to go out and try to seek the exact opposite. I'm going to try to seek that which I perceive myself to be the opposite of religion, and something that is the most dark or evil set of thoughts and ideas out there. And that led me to Levian Satanism when I was a teenager.
Mark Passio was this thing, okay? It was his choice. He made this choice consciously. Not everybody, not all teenagers in the world, they choose to do this. And he's explaining this thing as if it was some other person. So it's called ego dystonic and ego syntonic. So what Mark Passio was doing, he actively pursued this. He chose to become a member of that thing. But you will hear in different videos about from this person that he will say that people called him. He will try to blame it on some other person, that Satanists called him. He will not tell you that he also had this thing going.
And I began basically devouring all the ideology of that system.
Okay, he became Satanist. He was the Satanist. He still is a Satanist. Let's move on to midway because I don't have a lot of time today to waste on this person. We will keep things. Okay, let's move to 30 minutes mark. Here we go.
Politics and government. I mean, imagine trying to hold the two beliefs in your mind simultaneously, the two ideas in your mind, that the God of creation is actually the lawgiver of the universe.
Okay, just a second. Let me use this thing actually. He's going to talk about he follow God. I will show you the contradiction in his whole shit.
It's a red flag to me. So now everyone is suddenly religious. It's a big thing now. Why do you think that is?
And the New Age movement and Satanism, and continue to choose immoral behavior over moral behavior and create chaos, enslavement, and continuous
Actually, I'm getting at something.
increases. This is what people don't understand about is it operating in our world. Dealing of property, as I just described. Coercion.
Okay, Mark Passio's deadly sins. This is important. I've covered this.
7 transgressions again.
Let's listen. This is important because I've covered this here. Seven deadly sins according to Bible versus Mark Passio's 7 deadly sins versus Buddhist concept of karma. Okay.
Difficult to believe that it's that simple. I could really express natural law in 2 words: don't steal.
Yeah, Mark Passio's rule is don't steal. And now listen what he's going to spew.
Natural law is all about what are the behaviors that are true rights, that are objective moral rights, because they do not initiate harm to other sentient beings or.
He will
Funny too. I don't need to be here. Your shit fucking call on
none
that.
of this is what he's spewing is harm to other being. So I will show you the disconnect in his own rhetoric is in his own hoshit.
I'll calm down and say it nice.
He's by the way making it as a natural law that he's pretending to follow.
Nice and calm. You will find out just how much you picked the wrong one to fuck with. You better go fuck with some dumb little fucking cuck leftist in some fucking spandex fucking pink bicycle shorts, because I'm telling you, you fucked with the wrong one.
He's intimidating me, by the way, here. Okay.
Fucking trash ape. You fucked with the wrong one.
He will not come in close proximity to anybody, me included. What he can do is he can run his mouth on internet, and he thinks that spewing on internet makes him look like tough guy. Actually, what is going on here is this narcissistic personality disorder traits, grandiosity, lack of empathy, manipulativeness, pathological lying, confabulation, dissociation, blame shifting, emotional shallowness, impulsivity, exploitation of others, and antisocial, sociopathy, psychopathy, superficial charm, pathological lying, manipulativeness, lack of remorse or guilt, shallow affect, lack of empathy, impulsivity, irresponsibility, poor behavioral controls, parasitic lifestyle. Okay, so I will get into all these things in details. Now listen.
And just see if I'm playing. You'll find out who's fucking playing and who's dead.
Find out. I'm still waiting here. I'm still waiting to find out.
I don't know, other content creators, you guys want to take bullshit. You guys want to take it in the ass. You guys want to just let out death fucking serious in it. This isn't a game. This isn't a joke. This is life and death fucking serious. And the people who haven't figured it out and think they want to fuck around with a real motherfucking gangster, I will show you what a fucking legion of demons lives inside of me. That I have under lock and key by my own willpower. And you want to fucking tap on that fucking cage all day, and you want to find out, will it open for you, and will the demons get unleashed? You'll find the fuck out.
Natural law.
You'll find out. Keep fucking around. Keep playing. Keep fucking around. You think I really care about this fucking life? You think I care about being here any longer?
Natural law.
I did everything I need to do. I did everything that was charged of me to do.
I don't know who asked this person, first of all, to do any of these things. Secondly, people who come in contact with this scumbag, they have their own life processes going on. They're leading, like for example, I came in contact with these scumbags. I gave them $800 plus. Around $800. And these scumbags, they started to treat me like this. They started to attack me, impose They push shit onto me. Even me explicitly telling these scumbags that I don't want any of this whole shit. This is the thing I have come to you. And they've promised me to do that. So I will show you all the violations of and contradictions and fragmentations of all the whole shit Mark Passio claims to follow. They don't follow anything. They don't do anything. They just create these whole shit rules and everything else to impose these rules onto other people so that their whole shit. It's a cover up thing actually. It's not like Mark Passio and cult. What they're doing deep down is they're exploiting people. They're harassing, abusing, attacking everything. And why they are doing this thing? Because this is what their parasitic lifestyle is. That regulates them. When Mark Passio screams on people, it regulates him personally. When Mark Passio screams in front of camera, people like it. He loves that attention. It's not like it's helping somebody. Even when he's screaming and spewing these things. And people who think that this abuse is help, there's something very wrong with those people as well. Okay, so what end up happening is it becomes. The problem here is the problem here is like this thing becomes a sort of entertainment to people at best. It's not helping anybody. It's not helping him. It's not helping any society. I've never come across a person who was talking about Mark Passio's whole shit work and they were praising him that it has helped him. I've come across a lot of people in the past 6 years who have told me everything about Mark Passio and how he make people suffer. His own cult member, One Great Work Network people. They've told me, multiple people. I'm not talking about just breakaway group right now. I'm talking about other people as well. I've come across people who have told me about Seth Boza, his best friend, who is in same bed with him, his left hand or right hand man. Okay. People have told me about Seth Boza that he has stolen people's. Not only he has scammed them of money, he has stolen their intellectual property. He has stolen their Facebook page. He has stolen their website and relabeled it, redesigned it. People have told me this thing. On top of all that, his own cult members that I'm talking about, they have publicly, openly acknowledged and spewed this thing. They preach people to use leftist quote unquote or some other person who's not into this madness of whatever the fuck they do, to use those people to sharpen their blades. But what I'm trying to say here is, these were their exact words, by the way. So what they are doing is, when somebody come in contact with these scumbags, they start to attack, abuse, harass, this and that, everything. And when this drama is caused, they extract information from them. They engage people into intellectual discussions that they are lacking themselves. And everybody is more intellectual than these people. They're more like leftists. If we talk about, I don't know what happens in the America in the terms of leftism. In general, outside America, people from left who follow democracy usually. Democracy is very different from American, whatever the hell they have made out of democracy. Other people who follow democracy is very different, very different. So what they do is they sharpen their blades using those people. Another cult member of Mark Passio, they are verbatim, they are quote unquote exact words I'm saying here. Sathyakas Boza said that flip things onto your enemy. So what happens is, people who come to their channel that they extract, that they attract onto their channel to have discussion, to join them, to send them some money, something. Like Mark Passio was giving away these ARKs, okay, in the past, sort of hard drive, this and that. He was asking people to give him hard drive, give him donation, give him some computer, something. Okay, now people who have good heart or something, people who in general want this conspiracy crap, whatever. I'm sorry. So they come in contact with these people and they start to attack them. They start to impose their rules onto them viciously, like a mentally ill rabid dog. The moment people come in contact with these scumbags, they think that they have some sort of authority on them. They start to mistreat them, they start to abuse them, smear them, harass them, try to attack their belief system as in functional belief model. Like, for example, if you're a entity on the earth, no matter where you were born, what your belief system is, what your religion is, what your background is, it was a process that kept your life functional. So they start attacking that functional life. They start to cause chaos, to create dissociation in people, dissociation by abuse. Whatever the hell Mark Passio does, it is called abuse. It is abusive. And people, they are so numbed with his whole shit that he spew, they think that this is something greatest. All right. So we will focus on this video specifically. And before I begin, go any further, let me pull this slideshow. Okay. Everything that is wrong with Mark Passio's teaching. I will start little by little. I will expose this person's whole shit. I mean, Mark Passio has been spewing a lot of things, misrepresenting a lot of things from my culture for years. It's only fair when I start to show people what is true. I'm not saying my culture is best, better. I can clearly see there are a lot of issues with my, like in modern day. If we keep continuing this thing, so there are issues. Like the biggest issue for my culture is casteism, and there are multiple complex issues within my culture, and I accept them, and I say that they are wrong. Okay, so, and there are other stuff as well. There are really twisted things as well. I'm not having this back and forth who shit whatever Mark Passio has confused this thing with. Seven deadly sins according to Bible versus Mark Passio's seven deadly sins versus Buddhist concept of karma. So according to Bible, seven deadly sins are pride, the root of all sins, defined as excessive belief in one's own ability or superiority. Greed, avarice, how you pronounce this? Avarice, I don't know. An intense desire for material wealth or gain. How come I never come across this word? Lust, uncontrolled longing or craving, often sexual, that leads to harmful choices. Lust can be about some money, gold, this and that as well. Okay. Envy, resenting others for their possession, qualities, or success. Gluttony, excessive indulgence or over consuming, often related to food or drink. Wrath, uncontrolled, destructive anger or rage. Sloth, spiritual apathy, laziness, and neglect to duty to God or others. So these things actually make sense Besides the fact this is more about promoting the religion, a specific religion. In general, also, people who do not have this ideal version of religion, pride is wrong for them as well. Pride, greed is wrong for them as well. Greed, there's a greed and there's a healthy, see, there's a healthy self confidence, and then there's a pride, means grandiosity, usually narcissists have. There's a greed and there's need. So people twist these things, okay? They don't keep things in a healthy sense. There's lust, okay? Then there's regular things that people experience. But when people go after the lust, specifically lust, that's the issue. Envy is an issue. Having differences and acknowledging those differences healthy way, being envious is actually wrong. Gluttony, excessive indulgence or overconsumption, often related to food or drink. Wrath, okay, uncontrolled destructive anger or rage. They are talking about wrath, not general anger, okay. Sloth, spiritual apathy, laziness, and neglect of God, of duty to God or others. So I don't see anything so drastically wrong with these things. And you will see if you ever listen to Mark Passio's view, he tried to make these things as something very bad. Now this are phony seven sins by Mark Passio because he thinks that he's better than everybody else, so he has to come up with these terminologies. Murder, taking another person's life, all the while giving people death threats. Okay,
I don't need to be here.
Mark Passio follow his own seven deadly sins. I mean, according to him, the seven deadly sins, but there are exceptions according to Mark Passio's comfort. Okay, obviously.
You want to roll those fucking dice and bet on them not coming up fucking snake eyes. You bet, and you'll see the fucking snake. You'll see the serpent. You'll see the demon. You'll meet him, and then I'll send you to his big brother.
Mark Passio, he like over like I don't know what Mark Passio sees himself. I think he's lacking a mirror. Since he's talking about all these grandiose things, why don't you meet? He's talking about me in this. Why don't you meet me in person? Let's see. I mean, anybody can run mouth. You're running your mouth there. I will start running my mouth here, and people will think that who are these idiots? So why don't you come and meet me in person and let's see what will happen from there. So in the past, and then there's this whining of Mark Passio. He will threaten you at first, then he will cry and whine, and he will try to seek for people's this empathy by crying, all the while abusing people, attacking people, and then seeking for some sort of sympathy with his condition. All the while, he never have any sympathy toward others. Never, not even once. Not even once.
You'll meet his big brother, and I'll send you to his little one. Is more like it.
So he's calling himself Big Brother, means he's calling himself Satan.
All these people have the Dunning-Kruger effect. They literally jump to completely unreasonable conclusions based on zero information.
So all this whole shit, this is a actually created video. What on earth is happening? Live weekly show. This is an actual thing that has happened. all the death threats, all the threatening messages, all the whole shit throughout this video, these have actually happened for 2.5 hours. And this was just one video. He did this for one whole year. And he attacked me in these videos. Alright, like this. Because he's a coward, he will never call your name when he's doing these things. Because the moment he called your name, you can show him the mirror. He don't want to see the mirror. He want to abuse people like this. So what happened, what caused this person to create these videos for one whole year is his scummy loser friend lied to him. Name is Seth Kaspusa. After scamming me, so he was covering up his trails using these people. So these scumbags, they think that when they commit crimes, when they steal people's money, when out of gluttony and all that stuff, they don't give a fuck. They only talk about morality and ethics in front of camera, and that's a cover. That's a cover. If a thief is talking about morality and ethics, who will doubt these people? But they steal people's money. They lie to people. Mark Passio's best friend, Sathikas Boza, he stole money from me for 4 times by lying to me 4 times. And why am I keep on repeating this thing? Because people are not listening. People still think, and these comebacks, they make it like you are failing to do something in their whole shit cult. In my specific case, I never wanted to join their cult. I had specific different questions that I explicitly told that person. This is what I want, and I have explicitly told that I don't want whatever the whole shit you do here. So this is the game these people play. This game that they're playing, that they're host shitting, it generates more and more content. It engages more and more people. This plays as a cover for them when they are talking about morality and ethics and attacking other people, presenting themselves as some angry people. People think that these people are serious, but that's all a facade. That's all a theater play. That's not effective. I can read definition from internet and I can spew about these things and people might believe at some point. But since I'm talking about morality and ethics, I must be a moral person. But that's not how morality actually works. Morality, ethics, anything that they spew on internet, it only works when it is in action, when it is effectively being used. That is lacking in these people's all these videos everywhere else. It's a narrative. It's only for the show. Okay, like these deadly sins. So they were Bible's deadly sin. Mark Passio's deadly seven deadly sin, murder. He had just violated. Like if there are sins and there's natural law in place, and he claimed to follow that natural law, he has violated this first murder one, and it is his own creation. I'm not saying that this is universally applicable or anything in that sense. And don't let this come back twisted. I'm not saying that do go commit these things. No, I'm saying that this whole shit is a joke. What he has come up with. I'm not saying that murder is right thing or this and that. All right, don't let this come back twist these things, because this is how this come back twist things to generate another narrative. I'm talking about this thing specifically: assault, physical attack, or harming another person. That he has just said this thing also. Two, since he has committed two violation of natural law, according to Mark Passio's own horseshit. I'm not sure about this RA. I cannot say this because videos get. My channel is already going through a lot of attack right now. Sexual violation without consent. I'm pretty sure a few people in his cult, they already have all these things done. Theft, taking someone else's property without permission, like Mark Passio takes people's intellectual property and later on present it as his own without any issue, no problem with him. He steal things from religions, present them as his own, no issue there. There's no problem with Mark Passio at all. He take things from academic backgrounds, psychological background, education background, everywhere. There's no issue with that. All right, theft. So these things are more to cover up the whole shit. Trespass, violating another person's property or domain. Mark Passio is always all over other people's belief, other people's understanding, other people's life process. He's always in their religion, in their, if they follow science, that's an issue with Mark Passio. If they're atheist, that's an issue with Mark Passio. If they follow some other religions, that's an issue. If they follow scientific things, that's an issue. So this is not trespassing. So Mark Passio has issues with people who follow science. Mark Passio has issue with people who follow religion. Mark Passio has issues with people who follow atheism. None of these things. Okay. Mark Passio has issue with people who follow some other philosophy, Buddhism, Hinduism, some other stuff. He has problem with everything. Okay. And this is not trespassing, by the way, at all. Mark Passio does not have issue with when they follow this whole shit, okay, that he himself does not follow and he himself commits. So deception, everything about Mark Passio and cult is deception. It is based on deception, and I will prove it in a bit. This video is going to be a little bit longer. I will maybe divide it into two parts. Coercion, everything that Mark Passio and cult does is coercion. Using force or threats to control someone's choices. Intentional lying to manipulate or control other people. Deception. Trespassing, violation of another person's property or domain. Okay. So we don't follow, in Buddhism, we don't follow sins like regular things. We don't say that don't do this sin. We don't use these things to control people. We have a concept of karma. In Buddhism, karma means intentional actions. Chetana. Chetana means consciousness. Okay. And this is how they write Chetana in English. So yeah, this is how they write it, but this is not how we write it in Hindi, by the way. That creates consequences affecting future experiences. Key point. So we tell people that they are karma to actions that you take, to the words you spew out of your mouth. So be mindful about all these things, be conscious about these things, about your actions and about your words. Be mindful. When you stay mindful, you don't commit these things, because things that are unwholesome, things that are not things that are counterintuitive. When you stay in your consciousness, when you stay aware of yourself, not disconnected from yourself, you don't commit these things. You don't commit crimes, you don't commit sins, quote unquote. All right. Intention is central. Karma is primarily volitional action, intent behind thought, speech, or behavior. So this model is actually better, because when you are conscious and aware, intent behind thought, speech, or behavior. So we go more about the intention of thoughts or behavior, speech, that if you have this bad intention, you will use whatever the words that takes you to spew that. The words mean less, the intention mean more. Okay. Three channels of karma: body actions, speech words, mind intentions, thoughts. So karma cannot occur without a body. You cannot do anything without your own actions. I cannot lift this mug without using my body. Okay, I cannot lift this with my mind only. So this is an action that requires my body. Speech. So not all the times, just like we don't talk about just actions. We also talk about speech. Do not have poor speech, bad speech. That also affects people. And intention. So without my intention, I cannot lift this thing. And in the same way, if I do something, commit something bad through body action, steal, thief, do some sort of assault on other people, that cannot happen without my body. And when people usually assault this and that, they curse people, they scream, yell at people, and this cannot happen without a intention. Okay. Moral quality determines result. Wholesome actions, kusala, favorable results, kushal. Wholesome actions mean kushal. Kaushal means talent. So wholesome actions come after a little bit practice. Okay, a lot of people stay. I will explain all the relevance of these things. Unwholesome actions, akushal, means unwholesome, unfavorable results. So moral quality determines results. If a person is moral, this is by the way thousands of year things in Buddhism. Okay, that Mark Passio steal. I think that he is doing something different. So when you practice, that usually Buddhists do when they meditate, when they perform, like the principle of Buddhism, it's independent of what other people think about Buddhism. It's not what people think about Buddhism. Like, for example, if you pick any average person who has a background of Christianity or even Satanism and this and that, so what they're lacking not just the, like, Buddhism is more about to do things in real life. It's not about philosophy, it's not about literature, it's not about anything. What these wannabe intellectual people, they interact usually, they think that if they can uh, force themselves to remember the principles, they became Buddhists. No, you can know everything about Buddhism, and if it does not show in your actions, if you're not doing it in your actions, you're not a Buddhist. Okay. And these people, they hate this thing when people do things in their actions, because people like Mark Passio and his cult members, they're not about what is wrong with the world usually. They're more about we will do fucked up things and you should still accept us and you should not judge us. We will judge you. You should not judge us. We will misattribute everything. We will, uh, out of sadism and narcissism and psychopathy, we will twist everything that you do. But you should not, even with facts, expose the problem that we have. All right. And then we have results, vipaka. Karma ripens as experience such as circumstances, tendencies, rebirth conditions. Rebirth, let's keep this aside because that's a bigger concept that you will not understand just now. Rebirth exists, by the way. We have multiple documented cases about rebirth. Karma ripens as experiences such as circumstances, tendencies, or rebirth conditions. Not everything is karma. Natural events, biology, and environment are not necessarily karmic results. No permanent soul involvement. Karma operates within the process of dependent organization, not through a permanent self. Liberation by ending craving and ignorance through the noble eightfold path. New karma stops forming, leading to nirvana. Okay, this is our philosophy. And Mark Passio says that this is Satanism. Bluntly, he says that this is de facto Satanism. So show me where the Satanism part is. So what is the problem here is when Mark Passio call people Satanists, he is creating a narrative to smear people, to make people think that, like for example, if you're talking about Mark Passio's clear-cut satanic ways, like this,
You're so dumb, you don't even have the information that you need.
okay, the way he's treating people, this is actually satanistic way. And Satanists never change, narcissists never change, psychopaths never change. Change means they never do things that they used to do. They always do these things. They find new and new ways to cover these things up. So one of those ways is when you call out Mark Passio's, like how he's treating people. By the way, all the abuse that I've been enduring from for years, 6 years from these people, the abuse has come only because I told these people to not mistreat people. That was the whole thing behind these things. To not abuse people, to not scream at people, to not attack people. And in that case, initially I was talking about me, and later on I saw that these people are attacking and abusing everybody, and they are calling themselves moral and ethical, and they are misrepresenting other people's stuff. Like, show me where the Satanism is here. This is Buddhism, not whatever the whole shit you have confused yourself about Buddhism or any other things. Okay, so why this thing happens with Mark Passio? What is the main problem with this Mark Passio stuff? Because these people have these things going. Narcissistic personality disorder traits. There's something called grandiosity, inflated sense of superiority or importance. Mark Passio thinks he's superior than everybody else. He has understood everything. He knows everything. He's better in everything. So this is what Mark Passio's main delusion that comes from. Mark Passio thinks that he's superior than everybody else, and everybody else is stupid. And he thinks that everybody else is living in a world that is controlled by some sort of Satanist. Okay, and everything is created by Satanists, and Satanists are the greatest people. And he have envy towards Satanists. He says that I want to shake hands with the Satanists. So he virtue signal this thing. At the same time, he attack people, abuse people, harass people. They do all sorts of things, and later on they preach you to be moral and ethical after abusing people. But this is the madness I've been dealing with for 6 years. Lack of empathy, inability or unwillingness to recognize other people's emotions, manipulativeness. So when Mark Passio is spewing about everything, he's living in a solipsistic bubble. Mark Passio goes from his childhood, his actions about Satanism, how he joined Satanism, how he defied Christianity, then how he defied Satanist, who was Anton Levi, what poem he was writing about Satanism, what his like this band was, what he did, what he did not do, this and that. He imposed these things. It is his experience. He imposed his experience as if everybody else lived this experience. Okay, and when you confront this person, he attack people and he twist these things. He misattribute these things, and he start to abuse other people. Like for example, one time Mark Passio and I have this thing going back and forth multiple times. I said that there is no objective morality. I'm talking in specifically in terms of morality does not exist objectively. I'm not saying that you should not be moral or anything. And how Mark Passio twists this thing. So like for example, I have this mug. Or let's take something smaller. We have this adapter USB type A to type C type. And objectively, this is an adapter. Okay. So this will be an adapter here with me. If somebody else takes this thing, it will still stay. It still exists, objectively exists. And it still be a adapter. Okay. Anywhere throughout the world, it will still be a adapter. It will not be like sometimes it is adapter and sometimes it's like it's nothing. In order for something to be objective, it should be consistent. It should be seen scientifically. I'm using scientific. I'm not asking you to become scientific. I'm not asking you to be like follower of science. Scientifically, in the sense, it can be observed. It should not change its property. It should not change. It should stay objectively. I'm using Mark Passio's vocabulary here. Okay. Now I said that objective morality does not exist in nature. We have to be moral, and that's what makes this society better. This was my original uh, argument with Mark Passio, because when he says objective morality exists, he's misleading people. People think that things already exist objectively, so what is their role in that? So people don't participate in morality. Objective morality does not exist in nature. And I use an example of lions or animals in the wild who prey upon the offspring, the kids, the babies of other animals. This is the biggest example of morality not being objective. Now, I said this thing, what this person made out of this is that I don't follow morality. Just a second, give me 1 second. Okay. Okay, I will have to continue from here. Let's stop. Yeah, so somebody was on my door. I had to disconnect. Maybe I will. There's some for some reason the pause button is not working. Yeah, so I was talking about objective morality, my original argument, and what Mark Passio twisted it. So I was talking about that objective morality does not exist. So let's go to natural settings and see if it exists or not. The fact is, it does not exist. Lion will devour the offspring of a deer or something. Now, my original argument is uh, objective morality, whatever the horseshit he's spewing, it does not exist. It's not objective. Either he does not understand the meaning of objectivity and the actual real meaning. There's some problem with him to understand language properly. Okay, or he's lying about it, or he does not like the fact that I am right and he's wrong. So what he did is he twisted this thing in multiple ways. How he tried to counter this thing. First, he said that I'm an immoral person because I'm telling him that morality only exists when people follow morality. And his narrative, I'm immoral. And he knows what he did on purpose, by the way. And later on, he said that I'm being Darwinistic, that morality, I'm talking about lions, I'm talking about some hierarchy. Unrelated, unconnected things. Clearly, even a dumb person can understand that what I'm talking about is morality being objective. And if you are claiming to be morality to be objective, why cannot you see these things? Why it exists somewhere? Why it does not exist? Why it does not show anywhere? So my original argument with him was that people need to be moral because this is where things are right, and you should be effectively moral. Effectively, not objectively, because objective morality does not exist. There is no such thing as objective morality, and morality is an agreement between people, among people. Okay, and how he twisted it, that these satanists, they have subjective morality. They talk about subjective morality, but nowhere in my argument I ever said that there is a subjective morality. Morality is according to the situation. Okay, and at the same time people have morality. For example, people in India, let's say, in throughout the country, people have their own morality in different ways. I use this thing. Original argument was that all the religion, all the people, everybody else, they have different ways to show the same thing. That's why religions exists. Like for example, people in China, they have their own religion going. There's stuff, whatever they do. Okay, and you'll say that their religion is Buddhistic. No, their Buddhism is not same as our Buddhism. Okay, vast difference in that. So they have their own stuff going. Buddha is same, the principles are same, but they have a different history of Buddhism. All right, I'm not saying it's wrong, it's right, ours better, theirs not better. No, it's according to them. Like you have Christianity with different flavors. Why Christianity exists with so many different flavors? In the same way, there exists Buddhism that has different flavors. Okay, and anything that can exist in this world will have different flavors. America want everything to be Americanized. These people, they lack a culture, they lack a background, and like America does not have a culture. America's culture is thievery, it's lies, deception, harassment, abuse, bullying, hate. This is what I've seen so far. Okay, so they don't have any culture, so they want the whole world to have no culture and to follow their rules so that they can fit in with world. America does not fit in with world. America is a bully state, and all these Americans, whatever the hell these people are spewing, they're damaging other people's culture, everything else. That's why the world is in chaos. They talk about objectivity, and objectivity, subjectivity. You cannot see anything in these people. Mark Passio spews about objective morality night and day and this and that. I had one-to-one experience with this person. I was waiting. I'm still waiting to see his morality. Still, he's spewing his morality and all this thing onto me for years, and I'm waiting. That where is his ethics? Scamming people is morality. People who are exposing the scam, the abuse they have endured, that is morality. And siding with the people who have scammed, who is actively still scamming. Sethikas Boza scammed multiple peoples after me using the same things. Mark Passio knows about this thing, by the way. Okay, if I had stopped Sethikas Boza, he would not have scammed other people. He has scammed other people. Those people came to me, they told me that he has scammed them in the same way as well. And this person is still siding with that person, and he's still saying that people who got scammed, abused, harassed by that monster, they are lacking morality and ethics somehow. Okay, this is his point here. So I told this person that morality does not exist if you don't implement it in real life. Objective morality is a horseshit concept. All right. So this is what is going on. This is what they are protecting deep down. Okay. Superficial charm, pathological lying, manipulativeness, lack of remorse or guilt, shallow effect, lack of empathy, impulsivity, irresponsibility, poor behavior controls, parasitic lifestyle. This thing applies to all these people. Parasitic lifestyle, they scam people. Pick any member of one great bum network and see how they're spewing openly on internet. What they do, how they brag about things, what they do. Use people to sharpen your blade. Okay, flip things onto people. They say these things openly. Superficial charms, socially smooth, persuasive, charismatic on the surface, like Mark Passio. Imagine Mark Passio, who knows Sethikas Boza. Keep these people in mind. Pathologically lying, frequently lying, used to manipulate or avoid consequences. That's exactly what Mark Passio does. I'm talking about moral, objective morality, that it does not exist, and to prove it, if you're talking about objectivity, so prove it objectively, and he's smearing me these things, using these things, but twisting my words. Okay, manipulativeness, exploiting people for personal benefit. Mark Passio, Sethikas Boza, none of these people ever had a job. They did not work for one day in their whole life. All the money, everything benefit that they have enjoyed throughout their lives, 51 years of life, they have exploited off of people by screaming on people, by attacking people to donate them, and then they still say that they don't have money. Okay, Lack of remorse or guilt. There's no remorse and guilt, little regret after harming others. They victim blame. They preach people morality and ethics after abusing, after scamming people. It's not that they are using this morality and ethics, they are arbiter, their epitome of morality and ethics. They can, no, this is a cover up. They talk about morality and ethics like if somebody has scammed me and that scammer start to preach me about morality and ethics, people will think that there's something lacking in me in the terms of morality and ethics. And the problem that has occurred with me, the main cause of this problem is these people lack morality and ethics. They don't show morality and ethics in action. Scamming is morality, it is ethical. Scamming people is ethical, lying to people is ethical, sucking people, coercing people into their horseshit cult is ethical. So they start to spew these things so that people can get distracted, so that they can cover up their horseshit. Okay. Lack of remorse and guilt, shallow effect, limited emotional depth, emotions appear calculated or brief. Okay. In the same way, in this, sometimes he's screaming on people, then he's taking a pause little bit, drinking his smoothie, and then he's laughing. Okay. These all are display of psychopathy and narcissism. Nothing else. All the emotions he's screaming and all the stuff, it's intimidating. He's trying to intimidate people so that people will not expose him. All right. Lack of empathy, impulsivity, acting quickly without planning or concern for consequences. Irresponsibility, failure to honor or obligations, work, finances, relationships. Poor behavior control, frequent anger, aggression, or rule breaking. Everything about these people is this thing, poor behavior. He will preach you behavior. Something that he's lacking, he's preaching others. That just blows my mind. That how this person is so disconnected and dissociated from his own existence that he thinks that everything that he is lacking, it is problem of other people, not him. If he's, then he will come up with these things, these 7 deadly sins. He will preach you these things all the while doing these things. And people does not seem to catch these things ever. Giving death threats to murder people, to assault people, actively thieving people from their personal stuff, trespassing in every way possible, deceiving people, coercing people into their cult, and somehow these are deadly sins and you need to follow these things. Not who actually is lacking these things. So they invent these things to cover up their host shit. Mark Passio follows Aleister Crowley, Book of Lies. And this is how they play it. Do you understand what they are doing? They are Satanists. Mark Passio is a Satanist. And all the host shit, all the drama, all the theater play using these famous people, everything else is a theatric. It's not in action. He does not do these things when they are needed to be done. He does not show morality and ethics where it is required to show. It is absent from there. They are themselves absent from there. All they have is their mental disorder and the whole shit they have assumed about people. The projection on about people. Maybe they had some experience with some person, they make that experience about everybody else that come their way. And they smear those things, those people with those things continuously. And the moment the other person gives an reaction, it becomes about their whole shit. Confirmation bias. See, I was telling you. See, he's behaving like this. Yeah, obviously I'm behaving like this because you have scammed me. You have been spewing this whole shit in defense. When I can see these things clearly. These things clearly. These things, this is what they are doing. Not this, none of this. Okay. I don't know what's wrong with these comebacks. Every single thing, every single fucked up thing they do, They blame it on other people. I mean, these scumbags, they are calling other people Satanists, crying about all religions are same. Your religion, it is wrong, it is bad. Your religion, who's listening, your religion. And then they have this hammer of thought somehow in their neck. And that's a better religion, by the way. Okay, Mark Passio will tell you about all the religion, how bad they are, all the while having this necklace. He will tell you a dissociated story about having a god. There's a god, there's a creator, and all your religions are bad. So these are all these fantastic things. Like a child, like a kid confuse himself, having no understanding in logic. Like these people never grew up. They don't understand that things don't just exist and they don't just vanish. If you're talking about some god, so god is a concept of religions. There is no god without religion. Science does not have a god. If there existed any objective god that can be witnessed by everybody, science would have already talked about that god. Okay, so there exists no objective god. God is like a see, people, the civilizations, they have invented god because there were traumatic events that were occurring to people. Like, for example, if you come across something in your life, it's not a bad thing, to be honest, but it's not real. Not actually how these fantastic systems have explained about these things. Okay, and when Mark Passio is talking about God, that's a concept of Christianity. God is a concept of Christianity. Period. It's not a concept of Indian philosophies. We don't have this word called God. We have this term called Bhagwan, Devta, Devi. They're very different from what God is. Okay, we have a creator, Brahma, all sorts of things. In Hinduism, I'm talking about. In Buddhism, we have different concept about these things, different way of looking at these things. These comebacks, they're lacking every single thing about these things. They make everything. So what they do is they abuse people's philosophies, people's way of understanding to do mockery onto them. Okay, and Mark Passio's everything is coming from his delusion that there exists some Satanists and they are running the world and all the religions were created by them, all the government were creating by them. No, they did not create all the religions. They hijacked everything of the religion, of the government, of everything else that was made for the people to keep people healthy mentally and everything else. They hijacked that framework and they injected their ideology, and people had these psyche related vulnerabilities and everything else that could not identify. Okay, that's what is going on, not something else. This comeback is deceiving everybody.
Rob or steal or diminish anything from other sentient beings.
This is exactly what people from Mark Passio's cult do. And this person does not want to have one-to-one dialogue with me where I can bring all my receipts and show to everybody that this is what your so-called cult members have done, that you were siding with. So he want some exploit. What these people do is they run on fringes. They do all sorts of fucked up things. They delude themselves. Their followers delude themselves. Like, see, reality exists broadly, openly. Okay, it does not exist somewhere in some corner. So what these people say is all the reality that exists, that is bad. Okay, because they don't have any place to be in reality. They're lacking a life. They're lacking their whole life. So they hate that. They want some exploit. They exploit these things, reality, a person, a personality, anything. They exploit that. They find every single time, if you talk with Mark Passio, like, he will say, he will call you, he will aggravate you. Okay, he will call you Satanist. These people will first attract you to listen to them, to have some empathy on them, to give them something. And you did that, then they make you subject of the hatred, subject of the abuse, subject of the attack, and they all validate it through different people, not objectively, not through facts. In fact, in actual fact, in objectivity, Mark Passio and cult have abused me, attacked me, scammed me. And I'm not talking about myself right now, okay? I'm just telling you one thing. They did not have any morality, ethics, anything. And no, I'm not the only person here. There are multiple such cases, okay? There was no morality and ethics anywhere to be found. Now they say that this does not exist, that you are immoral because they scammed you and you're exposing them. You're immoral for doing that. Okay? In narrative, now you are the scammer, you are the abuser, you are the harasser, and this is actually the game also. Flip things onto them. Do you understand what is going on here? And what they do is they do it through the spectators. They will espouse about same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again using multiple people, multiple famous people. Since scamming some person like me does not require like I should be famous, only the scam can happen that way. So if I expose these people, if I talk about my experience, nobody will believe me because they have video with David Icke's son. Who will believe me? Nobody. They have video with David Icke. Who will believe me? Nobody. People think that this is stupid. People believe on a face. People believe on a story. People believe on a narrative. They don't have any connection with facts. Like for example, if I had one-to-one experience with one of his cult member, during that meeting, there was just me and that cult member. He did not let me record my side. He said that he will give me the recording of everything. Later on, he clipped a lot of parts. He did not show his face, he only had voice there. So this is how they engage you with their cult. And later on, they judge you using their own deception. Like if somebody is taking a lot of money from me, he's cowardly and not showing his face and asking me to turn on the camera, I will judge that scumbag. So what they do is they do these fucked up things with people and they make people to react. Now later on when people are reacting, they're exposing something, they use a narrative about those reaction. I was reacting about these people have scammed me and abused me, and they will make it about something else. Sometimes they will say that I'm possessed. These were the exact wordings of these people. When they ran their all sorts of smear campaign against me, first that person tried to call me Christian, Sathikas Boza. It is all recorded in his videos. Still, then he tried to call me Satanist. Then he tried to present me as a new agey person because I'm from India. Whatever people believe in, they amplify that thing so that what they have done can stay hidden. I will continue this thing. I've been talking for a while. I will continue this thing in the future videos. I will cover up all his whole shit, his hypocrisy, his lies, his deception. Enough of all this thing. Not to attack him, by the way, to open the eyes of people using my experience, using my understanding on these things. I will be back. Thank you so much.